Good morning and welcome to our weekly SonRise Support Group call. I'm so honored and happy you are here with us this morning as we are in a safe space filled with love and compassion and our mutual desire to heal, whether it's ourselves or our children or our families. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. That means a lot to me this morning. And I am here for it. So let me tell you about our very special guest this morning. We have Sylvia High back this morning. I'm so thrilled to have you back on this first Sunday in September. Sylvia is a friend, a longtime friend of SonRise, and she is founder and CEO of something called Aiming High Incorporated. She's carved a path of unparalleled success as an author, a two-time author, master coach, impact speaker, and training and development strategist with over 30 years of success, where she delivers content and context to help people find unprecedented levels of achievement and fulfillment. Sylvia's client roster reads like a who's who of success stories, including best-selling authors, CEOs of major corporations, entrepreneurs of multi-million-dollar businesses, Emmy Award-winning producers, marketers, filmmakers, and on and on. Her clients include Uber, Squarespace, Delta, BET, Essence Magazine, LinkedIn, and more. And she has transformed so many people's lives, including mine. And I'm so grateful for her. She is a two-time author, as I mentioned, where she has written the Little Book of Big Questions, A Journey in Self-Discovery, and the I Am Woman devotional for elevated living. And they are beacons of inspiration, guiding readers toward a mindset of limitless possibility. What I'm super excited to talk about this morning is something that Sylvia has architected and created called the I Am Woman Conference. This year, this month, later in September will be her 10th year, 10th anniversary. And I remember when Sylvia mentioned this conference years ago, saying, I have an idea, I want to do something. And she brought this idea to life and has been doing it successfully for 10 years, which is so incredible. One last thing I just want to mention about Sylvia is that President Biden bestowed her with an honorary doctorate and Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award last year, and she is up very early in Napa Valley this week with the love of her life, and agreed to wake up at 6 a.m. her time and be here with us this morning. So thank you so much, Sylvia, for being here. I'm so blessed to see you this morning.
Oh my gosh, it's always a joy. It's always a joy to be with you. And good morning. Good morning to all of you. Yeah, I am in my second happy place, which is Napa. I live about not quite an hour away from Napa.
What's
And
your first happy place? I didn't know. What is your first
home,
happy place?
home.
Okay.
I
Okay.
love home. I love home. I love my backyard. That's my first happy place.
That's
And then
awesome.
every other place I can go where there's beach and water. I love Turks and Caicos. I don't know, it's running neck and neck with home right now. It is
Love it.
everything for me.
That's
But
awesome.
those things bring me peace, right? You gotta have those peaceful places, things that support us in our peace. So that's what I was going to chat a little bit about this morning is harnessing our peace, power, and purpose. You know, freedom really is what that offers, right? And you have the first thing, I mean, that serenity prayer should be called the peace prayer. If I had my way, I would rename it the peace prayer. Because if we followed just the instructions in that, OMG, right? Because when I look at the things that take my peace or I allow to take my peace, is when I won't surrender, right? When I absolutely try to change the things I cannot change. and when I won't take the courage to step up to change the things that I can. So we did nothing else but took that serenity prayer and applied it literally, Kelly.
Yes.
I know for sure it gives me access to peace. So I'm going to just share some points of view.
Yes.
And I put it that way, points of view, because there's many ways that we get there. There's many things that different people do and can do to make sure that we are harnessing our peace. So you talked about I Am Woman. So again, this is the 10th year for I Am Woman, and we're taking a deep dive into peace, power, and purpose. I'll give you a little bit of background about the process. It's the 10th year, as you know, but every year before I do it, I sit down and get quiet. That's one of the ways that not just about I Am Woman, but in general, when I'm feeling too worked up, I know I have not had enough quiet time, right? And to listen, because I'm doing most of the talking. We'll talk about that in a minute. My prayers can be like it's a monologue instead of a dialogue. But in order to create this year, I have to have a dialogue with God. And I say, okay, this is what happened. I'll just paint the picture. Okay, God, it's about to be the 10th year. Do you want me to do this again? Is this still a active right now assignment, or is this an assignment that has expired? Right? That's the conversation I go into. I don't want to do it from automatic because I've done it for 9 years, because it's something I know how to do. I know how to do it well. I like doing it, love doing it. Is it something that I really still should be doing? That's one point that I would offer, that oftentimes one of the things that I find has taken my peace is when I stay in situations that have expired. You know, it's over, the time is up, and I keep trying to fit in the box that I don't fit in anymore. I'm too big for it. My spirit has outgrown it, or I have no interest in it. So that's the process. I asked, well, should I do it? And the answer was yes. Okay, because I don't want to do it automatic, just on automatic, and I don't want to do it for my ego. Am I on assignment? So the answer came back yes. Then I asked, well, what should we talk about? I talk to God like I'm talking to you this morning. What's the topic? What is a conversation that would be so potent? Because as you know, my whole goal is transformation, and that people leave different. And more importantly than leaving different, that when I see them again the next year at I Am Woman, that they've achieved some new things. So what's the conversation? And I was given peace, power, and purpose. And I was like, that sounds like a nice motivational statement, God. What do you want me to do with this, right? This is the dialogue. And what I got that I'm so excited about this morning, and more excited about taking a deep dive with it on September 21st and 22nd, is that of all the gifts that we've been given, all the jewels, all the tools that we have, peace by far is the biggest jewel in our crown. The biggest jewel in our crown. Because if we can master peace and not take it literal, like some Bible story or a mantra or a motivational statement, if we actually facilitate it in our lives, the distinction of peace, and peace becomes our top priority, it almost absolutely doesn't matter what happens in life. Yeah. Because we're guaranteed in life highs and lows, triumph and tragedies, wins and losses, hurts and disappointments, joy that is abundant. All, that's life. It's both and. It's not either or. And part of the frustration for me in my life, and I think in a lot of people's lives, I don't have both and as part of life. I have either or. Like, I want to be happy. I want my joy. I want things to go my way. I want my daughter and everything in my life to flow to match the picture I have in my head. But what happens when it doesn't match the picture? We begin to lose our peace because, one, we haven't surrendered to the process of life, right? And we're trying to force life to be something different than it is. And life looks us in the face and says, I am life. I've always been life. I
Mhm.
will always be life. Life will not budge 1 second, one
Right.
notch for us. It is what it is. I know that our job is to figure out who we need to be in life in relationship to what is going on in our lives at the time. Sometimes some very, very highs, in a lot of cases, unfortunately, we're in seasons, oftentimes in our life, of extreme difficulty. And the question is, okay, given life is life, what are the tools I have right now in my life toolbox that will keep me, in this case, in perfect peace as this is going on? That doesn't mean we don't have emotions, we don't have some
Mhm.
sadness around it, but how do I sustain that, right? And so there's some things that I do, that my process, and my real challenge today is to ask each of us to figure out, which I'll be teaching out in more detail, your peace protocol. What is your peace protocol? Peace is free, but
Hmm.
we have to earn it. Peace is like a muscle. And if
Interesting.
we don't use muscles, they become atrophy and we're weak, right? I
Mhm.
love, and I always use her. I should pay her for this, Michelle Obama. This is such a great example for me. She has the most gorgeous arms in all the world. She was
Mhm.
born with these arms that go on and on. You can't
Yeah.
see me, but I'm stretching mine out. And mine don't go
Yeah.
that long, right? And mine can never look like her arms because they're just long. But the beautiful definition that we see in her arms, that is not genetically inherent. The length of her arms, yes, but the definition that we see in her arms comes from a arm workout. And so the same is for our peace. How do we get deep, defined peace muscles in our minds and spirit? And it's a non-negotiable, but it is, the world pulls at us and has us under the illusion that all the other stuff, all the external stuff are our top priority. And my question and
Mm.
challenge today is no, our top priority is our silence, our time with ourselves, and our time with God. And the world
Mm.
would have us think we can't afford to take that time to do
Mm.
that. And I have learned in my own life that I can't afford not to do it.
Mm.
I guarantee you 3 days without my peace protocol, and I'm starting to feel a little cuckoo. I'm definitely getting more anxious, and I'm I start to get tight. So
Mhm.
my peace protocol, yes, I'm here on vacation in Napa. Guess what? It's got to happen. I used to, do it when I'm at home, and then when I get on the road, I wouldn't do it. And so this is what I would be like, up and down, up and down. Nope, nope, nope. Does not matter where I'm at. It does not matter what's going on. What
Mm.
can I do? And it's not always as the quality and the time of it isn't everything I always wanted to be, but the time of it, I always take
Mm.
some time to do it.
But what
And it
is that you're doing? Yes, you're about to say that your peace
Yeah,
protocol.
so
What does
it's
that
very,
mean?
very different. But I want
Mhm.
to first, before we go to the protocol, I want to talk a little bit about peace. I want to
Yeah,
define it in general. And a
please.
lot of people have different things. So what does it really mean? We say peace, but what does peace mean? And here's a few definitions I'll run, and then I'll do a protocol, and then I'll hear from you all. What are some ideas we can, share with each other this morning, right? So peace is freedom from disturbance. It's tranquility. Peace is a state or period in where there is no war. So we can think about global war, but the war I'm talking about is internal war, because it's our greatest enemies are oftentimes not the stuff and the people outside of us, but it's our inner self. So my question this morning is the inner you part of your enemy that's robbing you of your peace, right? It's the inner you part of your enemy that's robbing you of your peace. Another definition is absence, as I said before, a cessation of war is no longer, absence of noise, absence of noise. I want you just to see which ones pop out for you. So I'm going to go through a few more. Peace is the absence of chaos. Peace is also having the right relationship with God, or whatever that version is for you. Peace as an individual virtue. So for you, when you think about peace as a virtue for you, what does that look like? Or a state in which tranquility or serenity is present. Peace is a tranquil state from outside disturbances. Outside disturbances. So look to see what external things outside of us is causing us or we're giving our peace away. It's a tranquil state and freedom from harassment. My mind harasses me. And that sounds funny, but if I don't keep this in check, it'll get on a negative loop and keep feeding me things that just is not good for me. I have to put a halt on that. I keep it harnessed. And so peace is harmony with ourselves. And so the big question is what I want to ask today. What does peace mean to you, each of us here this morning, internally? What does that feel like for you? And externally, what does peace mean to you? So if everybody could just take a minute and think about that. What does peace mean to you internally? How do you feel inside when you're in a state of peace? And then what does peace look like for you externally? Kelli, now I'm gonna stop there and let's talk about that for a minute, and then I can go into some of the things that I do. But for you, what comes up for you when I ask that question?
I think the quiet, the tranquility, there's easiness and ease. And I love when you said absence of noise, which is the quiet, and absence of chaos. And I think, up until today or in the past, there's been so much chaos. We've known each other for 15 years, I guess. So
Right.
you've lived with me through a lot of the chaotic times.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of us on this call may be dealing with chaos, with our children or young adults, or what I love that you said, the freedom from self-harassment. That is powerful because it's not necessarily, normally you think of harassment as external, but what you clarified your mind taking over and negative self-talk. I think that was really powerful for me because freedom from that means being enough.
Mm. Mm.
And being really good and knowing that. I love something you said earlier too, is knowing that there's choice. Freedom is choice, I think
Everything.
too, and new possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
You said
Yeah.
so many things that were powerful to me.
Oh, that's good. And what does it mean for you externally? I know one way that you get peace externally. I've had a chance to enjoy it. Your happy place.
Oh yeah, sunshine and water, and like I'm looking outside right now in my new surroundings, which are peaceful. They're little and peaceful. And I say that because sometimes little, it's fine. It's more than fine. But I love the sunshine. I love the outdoors. My outdoor space here is probably bigger than my indoor space. And and I love that. That's by design. Um, but it's also quiet. And I had to create boundaries with my eldest. And we had to have great conversations around whether or not we could live together. And being honest with one another, which was new, created an opportunity for peace.
Wow. Boundaries, right? That's so great. Yeah, so what we're really highlighting here, peace is an inside out job, right? And we have to ask ourselves that question. We don't ask us, what brings me peace? That's the big question that I'll be asking. What are the pieces that is taking your peace? What are the pieces that are taking your peace or you're giving your peace to? Is it your family? Is it your children? Is it your mate, your spouse, your, significant other? Is it your work? Is it your mind? Is it your habits? What is it? Is it unforgiveness? What are the pieces that are taking our peace? And we have to be willing to identify them. Otherwise, they will run the show. What are we pretending not to know? That's one of my biggest questions that I ask myself and my clients all the time. What are you pretending not to know? I'm pretending not to know I'm anxious. Well, that's just me pretending not to know it, but it doesn't change anything. I must ask the question and then answer that. One of the things when I ask what's the piece that takes my peace, right away, I have to be honest, is fear around my own mortality and my family's mortality. As morbid as that is, it is a thing for me. Like I want to negotiate with God and would like him to tell me and give me a guarantee that this is how long I'll be here. This is how it's going to play out. This is how long my family, and I'm smiling about it. But if I don't stay on top of that, I could live with a unhealthy obsession with that. Thank you for the serenity prayer. Hello. You have no control over the date time, but I want to negotiate that right down to the wire. And I used to say I had an issue with fear, and God said, no, you don't. You have one with control and trust. So my lack of trusting and my arrogance that God has a better way than I do, I'm like, no, I want you to, here's the deal. This is really what we should do. This is how this should go. I know this sounds nuts, but when I observe my mind, that's exactly what I'm doing, is trying to tell God exactly how I want my life plan to go. All we can do is our part and then choose how we're going to relate to the circumstances that come up. The power of choice comes up over and over again. So identifying what that is for you. So for me, I can chuckle now about it because when I say it out loud and get it out of my head and, stop being harassing myself with it, I now have a certain freedom and peace around it. When we think about peace, though, there's three things that I think we have to be free from, Kelli. And there's three levels of freedom that I'll touch real quick. Freedom from societal standards. That's one form of freedom. Freedom from. So that would be what we would write down. Freedom from. And in this case, we'll say societal standards. The other is freedom to do. Freedom to do what your heart desire wants to do. Freedom to do what you want to do. It's called your life for a reason. And the third is freedom to be. Be who you were divinely designed to be, right? So that's another thing. So, for me, my first step is to get spiritual peace. So that's peace with God. And, the Bible, in my case, tells me so many things to do to keep that peace. Seek me first, whose ever mind has stayed on me, I will keep you in perfect peace. So having a spiritual, consistent, high quality time with God is one of the ways. And I'll come back to that peace. That gives me peace. But so spiritual peace is another one. But the other part that I don't think that we spend enough time on thinking about is peace with myself. And so a friend of mine, to be very transparent, who was, as I was designing the curriculum for IM1, and it's called Peace, Power, and Purpose, she says, have you chronicalized this through your life? I go, what on earth? I blew it off, to be honest. That sounds a little bit out there. No, the title of the conference, have you chronicalized it through your life? Peace, Power, and Purpose. I bet there's something there. I ignored her for a few days. And then on one of my walks, I had a download. Oh, no, that is how you got there. So I'll tell you the story. You've heard it before. In my history, I started out in corporate America. And as you know, I quit or got fired from every job I ever had in my entire life, right?
Yes.
I would do really, really well. And then I could feel it coming. I just would lose interest and start to underperform and could feel the clock ticking. And so I did this be pre.com. So that was not a cool thing when I was doing that. Now it's no big deal, right? But when I was doing it, people were going to retire and have their pension, and you were considered a hiring risk if you didn't stay on the job more than 2 years. And I was averaging about 18 months max on these jobs. And it developed from my quitting and getting fired, and I had a series of these. I allowed it to create in me a very negative, self-loathing conversation. Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I like this? I can't stick to anything. Oh my God, you didn't even want to be in my mind of the horrendous conversations and beliefs I had about me.
Right.
And then I had a big breakthrough, a spiritual breakthrough. And I went, no, I'm an innovator. I'm creative. I'm a trailblazer. I don't like any kind of box. Don't put me in a box. I color outside of the lines. I'm spontaneous. I'm a free spirit. I'm out there. And all of a sudden, everything that I was loathing, I had an acceptance for. I started to have self-acceptance.
Yes.
From that self-acceptance, it led me to self-appreciation. Like, whoa, I'm a people magnet. I love humanity. And I start to appreciate these things that I loathe as gifts and part of what God had created me to be. And once I began to celebrate that myself, accept myself, accept, appreciate, then celebrate myself. I then gained what one would call empowerment and walked into my power because I was enough. I did matter. So this peace with myself overtook. And then once I was empowered and owned my power, unapologetically was able to move into purpose, like boldly, not even with a full blueprint, but I knew at that point. So there's three things. What are the things that bring you peace internally and externally, right? Peace, what is your relationship? Some people call source, universe. I say God, because without that, when it's all on us, and it's as brilliant as I might think I am, when I think I'm the one, okay, there goes the peace.
Right. Exactly.
When I start to carry it, you can forget it. It's over. It starts to weigh us, hunkers us down. So, and then peace with yourself. What parts of you would you need to make peace with? So those are just a couple of points. Anything you want to say before I just share a few things that I do? And I'm not saying it's the roadmap.
I think when you were talking about the 3 levels of freedom, and freedom from societal standards, I think that we've talked a lot about that here in this group, in this village. That's hard to do, quite frankly, particularly when you're like yourself, a rising corporate leader or, whatever it may be. It's hard to free yourself from those societal standards. And once you do, though, it is very freeing. It is freeing.
Mhm.
And you also
Yeah.
realize that there are so many people just like us, the same.
Mhm. And you know why it's hard, Kel? Because we
Mhm.
don't have it as part of our lifestyle to take inventory of ourselves.
That's right.
Take inventory of what's working, what's
Yeah.
great about you, and
Mhm.
take inventory consistently of what's not working and
Mhm.
what you could stand to improve. I won't go so far as to say what's not great about us, but what could we stand to improve? So in that, and when we're not clear about who we are, and that gets
Mhm.
fuzzy, when we lose sight of that,
Mhm.
then we kind of go with the wind. A matter of fact, one talk that I'm extremely excited about is the one that you're going to be doing. I cannot wait.
Oh gosh.
Kelli will be doing. Can I share? Can I share with people?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Kelli is going to do an
Mhm.
incredible conversation on the courage to be free, right?
Mhm.
Reclaiming my joy. So she's going to tell the story, and I know it's going to free lots and lots of people
Mhm.
because what you're doing and have done, and I see it on you. It's a
Mhm.
serenity that has not been, and so it's
Yes,
exciting. And I think we go through the test to be a testimony. I think that's really
that's
our
right.
whole purpose for being on the planet, is some people lead the other people in whatever areas that might be. And another conversation, Kelly, to your point about when you say it's
Mhm.
difficult to be free from societal standards, there's a woman named Dr. Felicia Phillips. She's the fifth generation entrepreneur. Her organization has single-handedly helped businesses of color obtain over $100 million worth of government contracts.
Amazing.
She's like really all about the people, our people, and people in general, but specifically people of color having access. But she's doing a piece on the intersectionality between identity and ambition.
Mm,
And of course, I put my two
mm,
cents on it. Now, I don't know all of what she's going to say, but this is what I
mm.
want to add to what she's saying. She's probably already saying the same thing or similar. She's got so much more. But the piece that popped up for me when she started talking to me about this is how when we let ambition lead the way
Mm,
and we lose sight of our identity, that's when it's hard.
yes.
That's what makes it hard. And in some of those corporate settings and other settings as well, marriages, relationships,
Mhm.
friendships, we will let our ambition, if you will, to be a good friend or to keep a friendship or to keep a
Mhm.
relationship, it will lead the way when our identity needs to be our North Star. So
Mhm.
who are you? What matters to you? What's your non-negotiables? What brings you internal peace? What brings you external peace?
Mhm.
Like that. Those questions have to be answered. Had I answered those questions early on in my career, that self-loathing never would have been.
Right.
But my ambition based on societal
Mm,
norms, right, was driving my life
that's right.
versus me, the person who I am, who I was divinely designed to be, my core values was no longer driving my life. My identity was in the back seat. My ambition was in the front seat. And so what we're going to ask women to do at the conference is to shift that and put your identity in the front seat and have your ambition follow. Your ambition drive,
Right.
comes behind it.
Yes.
So,
That's
yeah,
exciting.
anything
I'm
you want to
excited to
say?
hear that.
It's going to
Mm,
be great. Yeah.
that's
Anything
exciting.
else that I can say? Any questions? And then I can just tell y'all some of the things I do, but I think it's really a personal thing. I'm going
Yeah,
to teach a peace protocol that I use,
that would be
but
great. Would love to hear your peace protocol. And I also want to invite people to come off of mute or
yeah.
put a note in the chat if you'd like for Sylvia. But would love to hear your peace protocol. And then I want to learn more about the conference and how can people from this community get involved. So what is your peace protocol,
Yeah.
Sylvia?
So first is context, my mindset.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, so many things that I think we get anesthetized to, like peace, power, purpose. When I first was
Hmm.
given that from God, even I'm saying to God, oh, that sounds like a motivational statement.
Hmm.
What's the point? We hear these things and we become anesthetized to words.
Hmm.
Okay, no, peace is deep. I can't wait to go into it. I've already given you guys pretty much a big piece
Hmm.
of the context of it. But our context as a human being, we all are a context, just like I think I did this with you guys before. When you think of the rainforest, the climate in the rainforest is very distinct. It's wet,
Hmm.
it's moist, it's lush, it's green. There's only certain lives that, you got your parrots and all the lush vegetation that can grow there. When you think about the desert, it's very distinct. It's dry, it's this, it's cactus, it's sand. If we tried to put the lush vegetation in the desert, would not live. If we tried to put what was in the um, rainforest in the desert, it would not live, and the stuff in the desert can't live in the rainforest.
Hmm.
So we have to ask ourselves, given the internal peace that we're committed to and the external peace that I would love to have in my life, what is my mental and emotional context Am I set up in my mindset for peace? So part of my mindset, literally, I look to saturate my mind with possibility thoughts, period. It's gonna work. Yes, I can. As corny as it and as cliche as it sounds, I live inside a possibility context. Yes, I can. This too shall pass. I know I'm going to be all right. I got evidence that God has always had it work out. That is my basic come from in life. So I said this way, saturate your mind with possibility thoughts, eliminate defeated victim, glass half empty, oh boy, barely making it. I'm all right. None of that. And we have to have what we say versus say what we have.
Say
Speak this.
more on that. What does
I'm
that
going to say that.
Okay.
Have what you say, don't say what you have. I'm not saying ignore your pain, but we want to speak possibility, not speak the problem. We want to think solution, not think the problem. Like that. I want to think peace and not fear. It's an intentional faith, really is the word that would be used in the Bible. I got to faith my way through it, not fake my way through it, but faith my way through it. How do I faith my way through turbulent times when everything that I can physically see and the facts are saying, are you kidding me? This has been going on for 12 years. This kid's been lying for 18 years. What do you think? How do you expect? In spite of the thoughts, in spite of the facts, rather, faith your way through it, think your way out of it, saturate your mind, your context. Like I'm saturated. Even when things get really tough for me, I can take that dip and I feel the dip, but I come up quick because of the saturation that I live in a state of possibility. I believe that everything is always going to turn out in the end, that I am, sorry from the church, look cliche, I am favored. I expect life to favor me and things to turn out. So that's what is your state of mind? What is the state of your spirit? If you did like a healthy mind check, a healthy spirit check, where you're landing on the continuum? And what we've got to do is the key word here is grace, a lot of grace. Can we give ourselves the grace that God gives us? The other thing is pace. Give ourselves the pace that God gives us. He doesn't put us on these tight timelines that we put ourselves on. And then do we give ourselves the space that God gives us to fail, to learn, to misstep, to highs, to lows? So grace and space.
And a pace.
We don't do it.
Love that.
We hard on ourselves. We're like this. So I think that's bigger than anything, and you just have to keep doing it over and over and over. Depending on what's coming at you, you may have to saturate all day sometimes, every 10 seconds. Oh, let me bring my mind back in this moment, all is well. Oh, this is me on a turbulent flight, by the way. Let me bring my mind back. I'm all right now. I know I'm gonna land. Okay, you don't like the bumps, but this is every time that I fly every other month, I'm going somewhere. But that's how I stay in a state of peace in that moment because I'm completely out of control, right? And going back to serenity prayer. So I said that, and I think the self-acceptance is very key.
I love that.
And I think if you can go from acceptance and push yourself to appreciation, now you're really working with something. All right, I accept myself. Okay, great. But what do you actually appreciate about you? What is so great about you? There's so much that's so great about you to me, Kelli. Like you are so innovative and so creative. Your mind just blows me in what you can do with marketing and how you can make things so compelling for us as consumers. And then you as a being, your dad was prophetic when he gave you the middle name Joy. I have never been in your presence where I didn't leave with more joy, even in your sad times when you shared. So What do you appreciate about you?
Mm.
I appreciate those things about you. We don't take the time to appreciate ourselves.
Mm.
I know I'm energetically great to be around. I am fun. I am
Yes.
creative. I used to couldn't say these things. I'm extremely innovative. I am a curriculum master. How
Yes.
many of you have taken the time, I'm talking to you, Kelly, and everybody that's here, to really appreciate yourself and then celebrate yourself? That's even different than appreciation. Like
Mhm.
celebration, celebration time. Hello. So anyway, like what's great about you?
And you're
That's
a
what's great
singer.
about you. Okay, so that's context. I spend time on that because we won't do it. Set a context, and that
Yes.
becomes your platform. That's your grounding.
Yeah.
That's your come to. That's my grounding. My mother said it to me quite as a minute as an insult because I've always been a bit like this. Girl, you need to come out of that pink bubble. You just live in a pink bubble. I go, no, you might want to come in.
Yes. The pink bubble, people used to tell me I need to get rid of my rose-colored
So
glasses.
keep them on. Keep them
I
on.
love my rose-colored glasses because that's the
Keep them on.
optimism.
And that doesn't mean life's not going to throw us the curves, but
That's
we're going
right.
to run back to that pink bubble as soon as I handle this junk that they pulled me out of the bubble to deal with, right? The
Mhm.
disappointment, the overwhelm got me out of my rhythm of whatever my internal peace comes from, then get back in.
Yes.
Okay. So
Love
the other
that.
one is peace with God and relationship with God, intimate. I'm not I can't give you all the quotes and scriptures from the Bible, but I absolutely know that God is real. And I do all that I know to do to
Mhm.
have my own personal relationship with God.
Mhm.
And what I'm learning as we speak is to really rely on the power of God and not my own. I laugh because it's so
Love that.
ridiculous to think that my power is far greater. But some of us need to tell the truth. Like,
Uh-huh.
God, it's it, not me. Get
Right.
yourself off the throne, Sylvia, and
That's right.
really surrender those things over. It's right there in the prayer. If everybody did
Yeah.
that, give him the stuff that I can't change and then work on the things that I can and keep it simple like that.
That's
So whatever that relationship is with God. So that looks like for me, prayer. That's
mhm.
every morning.
Mhm.
And I would say give yourself some space. I used to have it, I got to wake up with my journals. I got my journals, my devotional, my cup of tea, and it had to be like that. That's my ideal way. But right now, vacation is going to be on the treadmill when I go over to the gym. So
Yeah.
I'll just pray the whole time that I'm on there or whatever, right?
Yes.
So prayer, I do absolutely, for me, journaling is key because my mind is a moving beast. So
Mm.
that's how I get it settled and get all the junk out of
Mm.
my head onto paper.
Mm.
And once I do that, it's space there, breathing
Yes.
space, creativity space. That's what journaling does for me. Other people do it for different reasons, but it's an emptying out for
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
And then I do have devotionals. One of my favorites is the one that I give away a lot. I've given you one. It's Jesus is Calling. I do that daily
Mhm.
along with some kind of Bible verse like
Mm.
that. Okay. If I don't read it, I pull up one that's I do have memorized, which is only a few, and I'll say a few of those to myself.
Mhm.
Underestimated, totally, totally, totally underestimated is affirmation, specifically I
Mhm.
am statements. I have them. Mhm. My whole bathroom is a prayer, right on my
I love
mirror.
that.
I love what you have on your bed there. By the time I get done brushing my teeth, go to the restroom, all of that. From Mandela sign, that saying is on, everything seems impossible until it is.
Mhm.
Enjoy the little things in life. On my side is
Yes.
she believed she could, so she did. In the restroom is miracles happen when you believe. Your dream doesn't work
Mm.
unless you do. Amazing things are going to happen. Let
Yes.
go and let God. Now, all of this, you see, I know I'm right. And
Yeah.
then when I'm brushing my teeth, guess who loves you? Jesus. Right next to that, God is not a mere man. He cannot lie. That's my bathroom.
Love it. Love
So
it.
that happens before I even see anybody else in the world. All of these are, they're hung up in frames.
Yes.
Some are on sticky yellow notes in my on my mirror. And so
Yeah.
by the time I do that, my goodness, right, I've already kind of got an edge. But before I even get to the bathroom, feet hit that floor. Thank you for that
Grateful.
day.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that breath. Thank
Yeah.
you. I laid down last night thinking this morning was going to
Yes.
come, but you know what? It came. Thank you. So
Yeah.
gratitude, everybody underestimate gratitude.
Oh.
Gratitude, you know how you've heard I know I've shared this with you
Mm,
before, that the bittersweet,
mm.
that is how we find the sweet in the bitter, is gratitude. Gratitude gives you sweet in the bitter. You
Oh,
can't
I
be
love that.
grateful and angry at the same time. It's impossible.
I
So
love
I
that.
live inside of gratitude because it's an elevator. You know, attitude determines your altitude. Gratitude will elevate your attitude every time. So not turning it into cliche, but intentional.
Mm,
I even say, God, I know I say this every single morning, but I need you to know every single morning I mean it. I'm present to the fact that you got me up this morning and I just took that breath. Thank you.
yes. Yes.
Like present. Don't get on automatic.
Mm,
Lord, whatever it is for you. Some
yes.
people, have different walks of faith. So those are just a few of mine. My new beautiful one is silence, right?
Mm,
So let me say this, and I've said this too before. My mind is such a beautiful thing. I
yeah.
love my own mind. When it is on the right track, it is a dream,
Mm-hmm.
absolute dream. However, Kelly, when my mind jumps the track and get on the dark side, it's a nightmare. So I do all that I know to keep my mind on the track that keeps it a dream. This is a dream, right? One of the ways that I do that now is do my silent meditation, only 10 minutes. This thing of mine, my mind is like this. It goes constantly. So I actually have to put my timer on my phone for 10 minutes. I can't just say, oh, I'm gonna meditate 10 minutes and leave it random. I have to time it. So I'm not thinking about, is it 10 minutes or not? I just do 10 minutes. The restorativeness, the refresh that I feel from 10 minutes of silence. Please, everybody just do it for a week and tell me what you think. And my others are music and walking. I don't wait to play music till I go to a party. Now, John Legend played his butt off last night, and we just listened from our room. Now, the night before I went to Jill Scott, I didn't sit
Right.
down the whole time because dancing is another way that I do it. It's a
Yeah.
little bit embarrassing for my husband. Not so much at Jill Scott because everybody was up, but when we go to jazz shows, he knows now this one place that we go, Yoshi's. I said, get table 28. He goes, okay, because it's a jazz place and nobody is dancing except for who? Me.
You.
But I get this table where I'm not rude. I'm not standing in front of
Love
anyone.
it.
My back is to the wall.
Mm,
But Leanne
love
Rimes,
it.
that's my favorite song. I
Yeah.
hope you dance. Never stand by the ocean, Kelly, and don't feel small.
Mm,
Always give those beautiful mountains a glance. And if you have the gift to sit it out or dance, dance.
yes.
So I dance in life.
Amazing.
I'm dancing.
That's wonderful.
I'll stop there.
So many wonderful, wonderful nuggets this morning. Thank you for all of that. I captured a couple of things about gratitude that you shared in the chat, and I want to make sure, because we could talk all day. I want to make sure that people have an opportunity to comment or ask a question. And I also want to make sure that we put information about the I Am Woman conference in the chat. So I'm going to find that link and put it in there. It is September 21st and 22nd in Atlanta at the
Yep.
Marriott Marquis, correct? If you
Yep.
want, and I'm looking through the chat. If you want to come off of mute, you hit *6 on your phone. Feel free, or you can put a note in the chat. But in the meantime, Sylvia, can you tell us more about the conference and when people should come and all that good stuff?
Yeah. So as Kelly said, it's February, so September 21st and 22nd. It's going to be at the Marriott Marquis, which is right downtown Atlanta on Peachtree Street. I think it's 265. the Marriott Marquis. It's a 2-day experience. I call it an experience. We use the word conference because it's a universal word that everybody understands, but it's far more. It's extremely interactive. Because of my history, I work in transformation, which we teach through experiential learning, so that you learn by doing. So there will be panels, but then there's engaging exercises, there's coaching, there is journaling, there is dancing, there's a
Yeah.
whole lot that goes with it. And then I do a lot of one-on-one coaching while we're there, live in the big room. We're dealing with topics from peace, power, and purpose. And that is the first piece that I'll open with, Kelli, is freedom, how to harness your freedom, peace, power, and purpose. I touched upon quite a bit of it today, but we'll do a deeper dive with that. The other thing I told you guys about, Kelli is going to do the courage to be free. We're doing the intersectionality of, what did I just say? Self-identity, ambition and
Ambition.
identity. I cannot wait. You'll hear from a team of women that are superchargers creating their legacy now. And on Sunday mornings, we go to, the throne and do a lot of prayer and praising. And that morning session is done by two beautiful women that are ministers and mothers and business owners. They're multifaceted. And it's called Because You Are.
Love it.
Because You Are. And then a lot of you may or may not know Sharia K. Jackson will do a piece on Shine. She was in the media and worked for Essence for years and years. And she's going to do it from how to show up and shine from a business perspective, but also it's our birthright to shine.
Yes.
And then we're taught to do the opposite, to dim our lights. So that's that. And then on Saturday night, we're having a afterglow experience, and that is going to be all about jokes, jazz, and jams. So we release and have some fun. It's amazing. And it's a girlfriend's weekend with a purpose. Women are coming and bringing their girlfriends and doing pajama parties at night and all of that. And it's our 10th year anniversary. So it should be extraordinary. And for all of the women that are here, I could keep it easy for you, Kelli, that want to register. If you, because you're part of the SonRise Project, you can put, make sure you say that Kelli referred you, but in the little special code, you could put in my name, Sylvia, and that will give you $100 off and bring the conference down to only $289.
Wow.
And that's lunch both days. Yeah. So
that's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
So special. And thank you for that. So I put the link, it's IamWomanConference.com. And Sylvia just provided a special code for $100 off, which is amazing. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And you put the code in the special code if you decide to register Sylvia, Sylvia.
That's
Thank
it.
you. And before we close, there's a woman.
I have a quick
hand up.
question.
Good
I'm so
morning.
sorry. I clicked the link and I'm getting an error that says registration is currently closed. And well, first of all, Sylvia, thank you so much for this amazing talk this morning. And I'm right outside of Atlanta, so I got very excited and clicked the link, but it does say registration is currently closed.
I don't know how that could possibly be. It is not, but let me get right on that. Thank you so much. Is it Leslie? Thank you for letting me know.
Yes.
That is not okay. So I will jump on and see what's going on. I won't, but I'm going to call the person.
Yes, I'm
No, I
seeing the
can't
same
wait to-
thing.
I
I'm seeing
can't
the
wait to
same
hang
thing.
up. Okay.
Yeah.
cool.
When you click
Yeah.
on the tickets link, it says this event is unavailable. Registration is closed.
Oh,
So
no.
I'm sure that'll be fixed.
Yes, right away. So
Right
Leslie,
away.
give us, I'll say, give us till tomorrow, just in case they're on vacation or something. So give me till tomorrow and then go back and it'll be fixed. But I can assure you registration is not closed.
Awesome. And it's an amazing event. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Leslie. Thank you.
Can't wait to see you there, Leslie.
It'll be amazing. It is always amazing. I've been, I think, I've been to 8 of 9 years, and it has always been tremendous. So I'm looking forward to being a part of it. And so I cannot believe we're out of time. It's 9:58 Eastern. You have been phenomenal this morning, as always, Sylvia. And thank you again for getting up so early on vacation. Appreciate you so much. And this whole conversation around peace and freedom. What a beautiful topic and conversation for this morning. So thank you. And I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Vicki Johnson, who will close us out this morning in our prayer.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Sylvia. This was so good. So good. Your list is my list, and I added a few other things. So thank you for the peace toolbox. Just amazing. So God, we thank you for this beautiful day that you've given to us. We choose to rejoice and give you glory. Thank you for the download of a peace toolkit today. We thank you for Sylvia and the gift that she is in the world. We thank you now for blessing the I Am Woman Conference and every woman who will be in the room, in the space, that they will leave transformed, that their lives will never be the same. Thank you for the SonRise Project and Kelly and Dee and the team and the vision that you have given us grace to execute, so that our mental and emotional wellness will be in alignment with the spiritual inheritance and even the inheritance in our lives and the legacies that we are living and preparing to leave. God, we thank you that as we go into the rest of this day, we will implement our tools of peace and practice from this moment forward. We thank you again for every person that is on this call. And we give your name glory, honor, and praise. In your name we do pray. Amen. Have a powerful day, everyone. And thank you again, Sylvia. Look forward to seeing you in Atlanta.
All righty. I can't wait.
Yes. Amen.
Have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you for your time. Kelly, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And we will be back next Sunday at 9 a.m. And you can catch replays on the website as well. But thank you, Sylvia. Love you so much. And thank you, Dr. Vicki, and everybody for being here. Have a beautiful day.
Woke up this morning, sun was shining, looked out my window, saw my good day coming. It's been some time since my good day's been on my mind. I hope it's here to stay. I don't need another yesterday. My good day helps me sing a different song. My good day brought that job that took so long. My good day blessed me with good friends and family. I hope you get your good day today.
Don't stop believing something good is coming. You got that vision, work it with passion. And soon one day what you need is gonna come your way. When it comes, be ready for the day that makes you happy. My good day helps me sing a different song. My good day brought the job that took so long. My good day is here with good friends and family. I hope you get your good day
Must see your future
See your future
looking brighter.
looking brighter.
The only way to cope is never give up hope. It will get better. You ain't born to be a failure. Dust yourself off and say,